Our show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Kaylin Parker of Magnolia Wealth Strategies, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, the Pierre family in Lafayette, Louisiana, Drums Earwear.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy. We got a good one for you all tonight at 7:30. The head coach of the Franklin Parish Patriots, Coach Adrian Burnette, will join us on the show to talk about his team. We're going to talk about some power rankings, some big news that happened yesterday, and some news that happened today. We'll get to all that. But I can't do it without my good friend. You see him right there, the one and only, George Peppers. What's up, GP?
What's going on, JB? It's a good night. It's a Tuesday night. It is a historical night here in the United States. We're not going to mention any of that, but if you have exercised your right, thank you. You are part of the process. Whoever wins, let's just hope for a transition of peace, and whatever happens, happens. And a lot has happened over these last couple of days. I mean, we had a game Saturday night, but a lot of stuff has transcended, especially locally. You mentioned about the high schools. Of course, I don't know if you want to go with this to start. The Saints firing Dennis Allen yesterday. I don't know if this is when you want to lead or you want to go high school. Your call.
What's up, Master Havanati? My good friend, Master Havanati. Um, well, I wanted to say VK Jones would join us later on in the show, but he's on a half a show suspension.
Yeah, because of some egregious
con-
statement he made.
conduct detrimental to the team.
Correct.
The team. So that's why you see us two here. He's not here.
Exactly.
He's on a half
The
a show.
aces, the aces of the show, right? We're kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
let's start with the New Orleans Saints. Dennis Allen was fired yesterday. Marshawn Lattimore is traded today. George, your thoughts about the two scenarios that have happened over the past day?
Okay. Yeah, I know. Within the span of 24 hours, they've fired the coach and they've traded one of their assets. The Lattimore trade, look, A plus, A plus. You recoup three draft choices, draft capital. You give up a fifth, and you move salary off your books. That's good. You're still in a purgatory right now because I think they're what 70 something million over the cap. It was 80 something. Now backtracking to Dennis Allen. Let me preface by saying this. I'm not one to wish bad things on a person. But Dennis Allen, look, he may be an honorable dude, and honorable is fine, but he should have been gone after the game against the Falcons last year. When you apologized, when you apologize, you revolted on your own team by doing that. That should have been the end of his tenure. After that game, he shouldn't have been given third year this year. That no. First of all, Jameis basically gave him you know, the double defiance sign when they told him take a knee. Jameis was like, man, we ain't doing that. Go in, Jamal. You ain't had a touchdown all year. Let's go get one. I get in principle at running a score up. I'm not a believer in running a score up, but maybe it was a subliminal message. But as far as the firing, to me, it was just, and it was 9 games too late because they're 2-7. The season's lost. There's nothing they could recoup from this season. Trading Lattimore is now extraditing the rebuild. It is now starting to rebuild. I was kind of thinking, but they gave Kamara an extension, so that wasn't going to happen. There are other players on this team they could have moved if they wanted to. What needs to happen now in these last 8 games, Jared? I just want to see them try, give effort, and whatever. Do you win? You lose? No. Does it really matter? No. Um, I don't think Darren Rizzi's going to be the guy now, unless they go on this crazy 8 game run and win 7-1 or something. Then maybe. I don't see it though. I think if
Well,
you're the Saints, the front office has to be extremely cleaned up. Get rid of Mickey. I don't think you're going to get rid of him. I think you kick him upstairs to the executive branches,
that's what I
and
think is happening. Also, I don't think he's being fired. I think he's going to become the
yeah, they're
executive.
not going to fire him. I think they elevate him to the corporate part of it, not the corporate, but like the executive part,
Hmm.
and clean out the front. Get Jeff Ireland is not the GM. Kai
No,
Harley, great manager of the salary cap, but do I really want him leading the charge? I don't know. I think you got to start anew and let that person pick the next head coach. There are going to be some interesting candidates. There is a second chance candidate that I thought of just now before we went on. Not the one I told you. There's another guy I just thought of that if you allow, what about Brian Flores? Look what he's done with the Vikings defense this year. They've turned around a little bit. You don't like him?
Brian Flores is cool, but I don't want a defensive coach
I
at
need an
this.
offensive coach. That's
I
easy.
want an offensive minded
Yep.
head coach. That's what I want.
Sean Payton part two, right?
Be a new era. Won't be Sean Payton part two, but a new era.
No, what I mean is in the schematic sense, not in
Oh,
the
I know.
literal
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, I got you.
Schematically, yes,
I got you. Dennis Allen
but
had to go. He had to go. Number two, um, James Hurst said it that he felt like the team was lost when he apologized to the Falcons. James Hurst says he could have gotten on us in the locker room about it, but to go out there, apologize to the Falcons, and to have a press conference and you apologize, saying you apologize, we just felt like he didn't have our backs. And it's the truth. I sat there. I sat there on Facebook and said he's not a leader of men. How can a team want to play for this guy and he didn't have their back? Yeah, if you were mad at the team about it, yeah, chastise him out in the locker room. But to apologize? No, we ain't apologizing for that. Look what just happened the other day. Uh, Panthers and Broncos. Joe Horn's son, which I forget his name, but his last name
J.C.
Horn.
Horn,
Yeah, J.C.
J.C.
Horn.
Horn,
He gets mad at Sean Payton, then saying that Sean Payton was running the score up 20-14. Sean Payton, like, what? What are you talking about? Play better. He told him play better. I thought J.C. Horn was mad because, Sean Payton really didn't care for Joe Horn when he was on the team. The
right?
playoff games, Joe Horn didn't
Mm-hmm.
play. He's just on the sideline, but no, but look, he had to go. He lost the team in Atlanta. It is just he's not head coach material. Defense coordinator, yes, yes, without a doubt, he is a good
Mm-hmm.
defense coordinator, and that's where he needs to stay for life. But other than that, man, I want to see the Saints come out playing hard, just being competitive with the interim coach, and we'll see what happens when we go from there. Somebody just
Okay.
put Ben Johnson is the first person they need to call. I think Ben Johnson is the OC for Detroit.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Look what they've done
Ben,
with Jared
yeah,
Goff and company.
true, true. What about Joe Brady? You said Brian Flores also. There's a bunch of names that's gonna pop up, but
But
let's
the
see. I
question
want to
I
see the
ask
Saints
you,
be competitive. Yeah.
the question, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry. Uh, Do you think this job with the salary cap that the Saints are in is attractive enough to get a top flight assistant or somebody proven? Do you think this job is still attractive enough to attract to bring somebody in that stature here, knowing the Saints are in salary cap jail?
I think somebody gonna take the job regardless they in salary cap jail or not. Somebody wants opportunity to become a head coach. I think they're gonna take
Hmm.
it regardless of what the situation is. So that's my point of view on it.
One more thing. You talked about we both are harping on what happened against Atlanta last year, and coincidentally, we get the Falcons on Sunday in the Superdome with the potential of Tropical Storm Raphael impacting us at some point this weekend. Here's the thing I want to bring up. It took the Saints 9 games to whack Dennis Allen, right? This year. After that game last year where the Atlanta Falcons got absolutely murdered in the Dome, Arthur Blank took all
Yeah,
of 30 minutes to fire Arthur Smith. 30
right.
minutes after the game.
Yeah,
And this is after Dennis Allen apologized to him. He said, "Hey, dude, nah, we'll move on. We're done." And now look what the Falcons have done this year. Coach Morris has done an incredible job with that group this year. Helps when you got a proven quarterback instead of Desmond Ritter. Kirk Cousins can play a little bit, except on prime time. I know the record; it stinks, but all I'm saying is that organization's aggressiveness and trying to win quick. The Falcons are now in first place in the NFC South, complete control because they've swept the Bucks. The Saints are 2-7. Take notes, Gail Benson. You see what these other organizations are doing. Now you're starting to get the picture. You know, you didn't fire your late husband, Tom Benson, never fired anyone in his tenure. You haven't until yesterday. Now I'm curious to know, and I don't want to get into it. But if the Pelicans continue to
let
flounder,
let me get to Instagram right quick because
go ahead.
Treehouse Man 69. You funny man. You're funny. Saints win a Super Bowl.
What?
Say he's trolling. He's trolling.
Of course he is.
He's trolling, man. He told you shut your nerd self up, George.
It's all right. Hey, I'm on a show. What are you doing, buddy? You just sitting there popping on the keyboard. Keyboard
let,
courage is a
let,
good thing.
let him let him troll, bro. Let him troll.
It's
Our
all good,
boy,
baby. I'm
our
not mad.
boy. Here we go. S9. Our boy S9. You know who S9 is? Starting quarterback for what you
Aaron,
call it? John Eric.
it's
How do
still
we how do we feel about the trade? I like I like what we got in the trade for Marshawn Lattimore. I like the third, fourth, and the sixth round pick. I do like that. I said at the beginning of the year, somebody was being traded out that defensive backfield. If it was a Debo, Alante Taylor, or Marshawn Lattimore. Um, Treehouse, Treehouse, Treehouse. Let me tell you something right quick. Yeah, Instagram, I got 4 viewers. Congratulations. Well, come to my side on with the Facebook and YouTube. Different story. Thank you very much. But but I'm not happy to see him go because he's our best corner. But when you in the salary cap situation that the Saints are in, what can you do about it? You got to make moves eventually, and you got to get out of that hellhole. So that's just what it is. So I mean, I get it. I like what we got back for Marshawn, but seeing your best corner,
cross your fingers the rest of the year, Jared. That's all you got to do because Adebo and Taylor, those guys are good cover corners. The problem I have is they play the ball and not the man enough. You know, I've seen where they go up for balls and try to jump ball at the point and all that. It's like when your receiver's eyes go up, you go up.
mm,
That's how you play corner. They don't make him like Deion Sanders or Daryl Green no more, do they? Nope.
no, no,
But that's
no, not
huh
at all. Not at all.
at all. But that said, you know where are the Saints picking right now, guys? They're projected third, and I might as well just say it. Travis Hunter is the guy I would pick if they're in that top three. I mean, that to me should be you got 10 minutes. 10 seconds. It should be all it takes to make this move. He's an exceptional two-way talent that would be a transcendent player for this team. It's not going to solve everything, but that's a heck of a start. And for those of you that want to hop on a quarterback, slow down. You don't have you have Derek Carr's contract you got to deal with. He is not a terrible option. He's not an elevated option, but he's a guy that can manage things. You've drafted Hayner and Rattler the last 2 years. Emmanuel, my brother Emmanuel pointed this out to me. He goes, I wouldn't draft a quarterback in this first round at all because you've got two that you drafted.
But
What are
the
you
crazy
telling
thing is,
them?
if
Huh?
you the crazy thing is this: if you let Derek Carr go, you still got to eat up his um
A lot.
his contract.
Like
So
46 million, I think, or
yeah, you
something
got
like
to
that.
eat that up. So
No, you sit on it and hope that you surround him with enough top flight talent. It's not a 1 year rebuild. For those of you that want him to win next year, slow down. It's not. This is a complete teardown of this team. It is an absolute teardown, and it has to be. But my next thing is Ken Trahan wrote an exceptional piece yesterday about Dennis Allen, about what happened here, and in that the suggestion is Mickey Loomis could get kicked upstairs. For those of you that want him completely out the door, no, the man has done too much for this organization. He was the GM when they won the bowl in 2009. He's done a lot. They've had a lot of winning seasons. His tenure has been wildly successful. Put him in the executive office, clean out the front office, and get a fresh set of voices to run the football operations and let them plot the Saints' future and manage the cap. Let's quite frankly, Mickey has been kicking the can down the curb over the last 2 years, and this is why the Saints are in cap jail right now because that kicking the cap down the curb has put them in this position.
yeah, you are exactly right. It has put them in this position. Moving forward, the Atlanta Falcons do come to town this Sunday. Haven't heard anything about them trying to move the game or what. I don't know what they're gonna do with Raphael. But your thoughts about the game this Sunday? I got a feeling the Saints gonna come out and might have an upset happen in the Superdome.
Oh, I mean, do I think they win Sunday? I mean,
Let me know your thoughts, bro. Let me know your thoughts.
I'm about to. I'm about to lay it on. Look, the Falcons aren't a world beater on the road. This is not a good team away from home. They're wildly inconsistent. But that being said, New Orleans, they're punting the season, but that doesn't mean they're going to lay down and lose every game 40-0 or none of that. I don't think the Falcons are that kind of team. I think they're better. I think they've got the more stable area right now.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans had no excuse Sunday. 4th and 4, and you throw a 40-yard fade with a quarterback coming back from an oblique. That's why Dennis Allen got fired. But as far as the game Sunday, they can win. They absolutely can win. Look at Darren Rizzi's, makeup. He's the kind of guy he's gonna punch some effort out of him. He's gonna get effort out of him, and they're gonna go out there and play their butts off. And you know what? He's immediately got something that Dennis Allen didn't have. Jared,
Really?
respect.
Mm.
Respect. Uh, Look, he's been here 6 years. He knows this team pretty well. Now it's his first opportunity, and you think he's not going to hunger to go out there and try to win
Of
the
course he
first
will.
game, and your first game is
Will.
against the Falcons, your biggest rival. How embraced would he be if he beats them Sunday? I mean, it's just one game, but it's your division rival who's in first place, and you could put a dent in them if you knock them off. I think the Saints, it stands to reason they have a chance in this game. It's not like they're gonna get whacked or not like that. And to answer the Raphael question, if you're the Atlanta Falcons, fly in like Tampa did. Well, actually, don't fly in. What am I saying? It's coming here. The storm is coming this way. At least that's what everybody's saying. So they'll figure something out. I mean, and then look from what the forecasters are saying. It's going to be a discombobulated mess. It's going to be a 45-mile-an-hour weakening storm with a bunch of winds here. We may not get a whole bunch of rain out of this at all. So
We don't know what we getting, man. We don't know. We don't know what's going on
exactly.
yet. We don't know what this and that.
And look, and we're not
This is still,
meteorologists.
yeah. We still looking at this thing, man.
We're not meteorologists. We're sportscasters that look at the storms, and we try to be meteorologists. I guess I don't know, but I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know everything. But we're hurricane vets. That's what we are.
Uh,
We've
to answer Nick's question, no, they're not.
wait. What?
They're not, Dick. I'm just gonna, and I'm gonna leave it at that. They're not. They're
Oh,
not. Not at all, bro. Trust me, they are not ready. Um, I could say the same about a certain high school, but I'm not even gonna go that route.
I think I know where you're going, but
But look, the Saints win. I would not be surprised. I'm telling you now, I wouldn't be surprised they pull out this victory. Remember,
neither me.
remember when Sean Payton was suspended? Who
Hmm.
did the Saints' first win come against? It was in the dome. I was there.
Son of a gun. That was 2013, right?
Whenever it was, I don't remember. But
Oh shoot.
the Atlanta
I
Falcons.
see it and I'm like, I can't spit it out. It's like
Atlanta
there.
Falcons. Roddy
Oh,
White.
what?
Roddy
Oh
White
yeah,
had talked. Roddy White had talked about what's our guy name, man? The one that blocked the punt. Gleason. He had
Gleason.
talked about Steve Gleason. And Steve Gleason was a captain for that game. They brought him out to be an honorary captain.
Hmm.
And they beat the Falcons. I want to say the Saints were winless. And I want to say the Falcons were undefeated. I was in the dome that day to see that happen. And I still don't like Roddy White to this day. I
Oh
really don't.
wow, banging on the man, dude.
He talked bad about the city. He talked
I
bad
know.
about Steve Gleason.
That's sacrilegious, dude. That really is. That's sacrilegious
Steve
to
Gleason
pop.
is six. He's a
Mm-mm.
six person. So it's all good though. But yeah, the Saints have the Atlanta Falcons this weekend. We got 5 minutes until Coach comes on. He's scheduled to come on at 7:30. Big news in the high school world here in Louisiana. University High School, ULAB. They were ranked number 2 in Division II power rankings, and now all of a sudden they had to
Pooh.
they had to forfeit each and every one of their wins. Tomorrow they're supposed to appeal this decision, but man, they dropped all the way to number 27 in the rankings. They're 0-9. People are saying they can still make the playoffs. I don't know how, but anyway, they apparently had some illegal players that played. George, your thoughts about University having to forfeit all of its wins?
Another statistic of a team that got caught, and this was not self-reported. They got caught.
Somebody turned them
They
in.
didn't self-report that. Exactly. So whoever did, I don't know what your flavor of cheese of choice is. It is what it is, right? Rats eat cheese, and that's what happened. And I'm disappointed, obviously, and for those kids who were projected to be one of the top teams into Division II select, feasibly to maybe play Archbishop Shaw at some point in the playoffs, maybe in the dome. Now that's not going to happen. This opens the door for Shaw, but for that second slot, because I'm going to tell you right now, you guys, your alma mater, the way they're playing, it's hard to deny that they can be in New Orleans second week of December. For University though, again, disappointing, but when you get caught, you get your hand. What happens when you put your hand in a cookie jar and you get caught? That's what happened in this case.
I, people are saying if they get a win, they can still move up. I just don't see it. They are
Well,
1.17 points behind 24. That's a lot to make up with one win. You
it
need
is,
a drastic miracle to make it.
it is, but remember the points you get from the teams you play on the schedule. Let's say feasibly they all win except district. Some of your district teams are going to lose, but the teams in the non-district all win. Maybe they get a little bit of a boost, but 1.7, that's asking a ton to go up. I could see if it was less than a point, I could see that possibility of them getting in.
Right.
Um, but not this is too much to make up.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't know how they can make that up. 1.17 behind McKinley at 24. They would need
That's a lot.
McKinley and Peabody both to lose, Belair and Tara. And I'm just like, if Peabody and McKinley both lose, I don't see them dropping below University. I just don't see it. Yes, university strength factor is the main component. It is good, 9.11. That can definitely help them move up. But I don't know if to help them move up if they get one win.
They
And
they
then
they played
go ahead.
they played Rumble this year, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Rumble beats Carr Thursday night,
Uh-huh.
and Rumble and gets the +1. That's going to help University too exponentially. You would think.
So I would the thing is every team they have to forfeit. Catholic, Rummel. Yeah, if all of them win, yeah, it would help them. That's why they got a high strength factor. It would help them. But would it help them enough to move up 1.17 points? That's
No,
that's what I'm trying to figure out. I just don't know. But let's say they happen to get in at 24. You know
they
they
would.
about to cause some damage. And then you will have maybe, depending on what happens with Estruma, Loyola Prep, St. Charles, and John F. Kennedy, which we'll talk about later. Could you have a 24 seed against number one Shaw in the
Actually,
quarterfinals? In the quarterfinals.
oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Not the dome. That the 24 seed will have to meet the one seed in the quarterfinals.
If Shaw gets there, which they should. I mean, I'm just 16-17. You're not losing that game.
Mm-mm.
Uh, but that would be a tantalizing story, wouldn't it? If ULab got there, if ULab makes the playoffs for one, wins 2 games, Shaw wins 16-17 in round 2, whoever it is, and then gets to the quarters. But even then, I would, and VK and I were talking. I said I still would make Shaw a decisive favorite in that game. I think Shaw, the way the Eagles have played this last month, they have just been dominating teams, and they have played at a level that I haven't seen them play in a while. And I feel like they are, to me, the solid favorite in Division 2. I'm not saying they're not beatable. They can get knocked off. Some old habits could come back, but the way they're playing right now, Jared, if ULab somehow got in and got to a quarter, I still would take Shaw over ULab.
Okay. Well, we're gonna be watching. We're gonna be watching because I promise you, if University wins one game and they make the playoffs, it's about to be a lot of noise from a lot of people. Trust me on that. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, the head coach of the Franklin Parish Patriots, Coach Adrian Burnette, will join us right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching the Hash It Out Show.
Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504-940-7552.
Green Law Firm is a full-service law firm specializing in personal injury, criminal law, successions, and family law. With over 25 years of experience, the Green Law Firm continues to provide efficient, competitive, and effective representation to clients throughout the state of Louisiana and all across the nation. Consultations are free. If you're looking for results, call the Green Law Firm at 504-328-3990. That's 504-328-3990, located at 931 Westwood Drive, Suite B in Marrero, Louisiana. The Green Law Firm.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy, joined by my good friend George Peppers. Our next guest, he's the head coach of the Franklin Parish Patriots, and they recently just won their first ever district championship. We have the one and only coach, Adrian Burnette. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Oh, doing great, coach. Just happy that you were able to join us. Let's get right to it, coach. Who or what was it that got you into coaching?
Um, well, I played ball for quite a while. I played at Tulane. Matter of fact, back on the undefeated team. That's many moons ago. Had some opportunities to play some professional ball and play in Canada. And when I got back, I came back from an injury, and I was rehabbing. I wasn't really fielding the calls, to kind of come back. And my old high school coach reached out to me, asked me did I want to coach, and that was Brad Bradshaw back at Bastrop. That's where I'm
Ah,
from Bastrop, and asked me did I want to coach. I had an opportunity to coach Randall Mackey and Ruben Randall when I first got started. And what I quickly found is, man, that coaching was the next best drug to playing. I was passionate when I played, and I had an opportunity to still be involved, and I just kind of got stuck. Plus, my dad was a longtime coach, basketball coach, won a couple of state championships with Cara High School, and so I've always been around coaching, always been around sports, and once I got into coaching, man, I just fell in love with it.
man, see, coach, you brought back memories. You brought back memories that I tried to get out my head. See, right there, you said you coach Randall Mackey and Ruben Randall. I got to sit there and think about Shaw, my alma mater, losing to that team 2 years in a row. You see what you did, coach?
Hey man, I remember us, yeah, beating you the last time in the dome, man. But since then, man, I've met got a couple of friends from Shaw, man. I had a opportunity to play with Derek Joseph,
Oh, yeah,
Terrell Harris was also on the team with me, so I'm still kind of close to some of them Shaw guys.
oh, definitely, man. That's my boys right there, especially Terrell.
Yeah.
Um, since you played at Tulane, we've asked a couple of our guests that played at Tulane this question: who's the better team, 98 or the team that just beat USC in the Cotton Bowl?
Hey man, by far '98, man. Regardless of how you look at it, man, I feel like we laid the groundwork and the foundation. Prior to that, man, I don't think Tulane had won many games. They actually recruited me 2 years earlier, and I told them I would never play there. But that was mainly because they was running the wing tee, some form of the veer. Coach Rich Rodriguez came in there and started throwing the ball around, and we fell in love with it. And I think that particular team opened everybody's eyes and changed the culture at Tulane.
I totally agree, especially with Sean King at quarterback.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't go against that team ever. I can't. um,
But I do have a lot of respect for them guys that beat USC. I was actually at the game supporting, so kudos out to those guys.
I was there too. I'm a season ticket holder. I was there too, coach. It was great to see that. Great to see that. Um, you coached at Bastrop, you coached at Wassman, but Franklin Parish, you are the first African American head football coach at that school ever. Talk about that. Must be a great feeling.
Oh yeah, it was a great feeling, man. Just to have the superintendent and the principal trust me on that. I had some head coaching experience back at Bastrop. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, and I had been an offensive coordinator over there for a year or two, and I kind of got close to the players, got close to some community members, and I just got the opportunity. And I think it was just being in the right place at the right time.
And that last year you guys lost the first round of the playoffs. As you guys had spring practice and spring football game, what was the feeling about your team before the season started?
Say it one more time. You went in and out. Say it one more time. Sorry.
Um, what was the feeling that you had about your team for this season when after the spring ball and the spring football game was over with? The feeling you had about your team?
Man, it was honestly a different feeling. I know that might be a cliche thing to say, but I was going into the third year, and I'm really kind of led by the junior class, and that class kind of came in with me, and they have just kind of taken over my personality. I was fortunate enough to get a great group of kids that have grown up underneath me, have had some experience in playoff and big time games. And I just think this year was, just a maturation of a lot of it. So a lot of those guys that had to come in and play as freshmen, that may have taken some bumps and bruises, this year they've really grown up, and a lot of those guys are actually the leaders of their team this year. So we've been feeling good about the whole thing the whole time.
Okay. How special is it that your whole defense, all 11 starters, returned this season?
Well, I tell you what, man, anytime you get a group of kids to kind of stay together, and that's kind of one of the hardest thing to do in high school athletics as a whole nowadays, man. Kids got everything else in the world to do, man. They got computers, they got TikToks, they got all kinds of stuff going on. So to get kids to completely buy in and year out into athletics, man, it's not like it used to be. But what we did have is we had a great group of coaches that kind of bond with the kids. The kids love the coaches. They love the atmosphere. We brought a lot of changes within the culture, and the buy-in has been incredible. So to have all those kids come back after an unfortunate season last year, and all they've been talking about this year is we're gonna make up for last year. It's been incredible.
I want to go back a couple of weeks. You led a pregame speech telling your team that you're tired of being disrespected. Your team goes out there and defeats Calvary Baptist. How much of a statement win was that for your program?
Up to that point, man, it was probably the biggest win we've had. As far as the program, and so when you look at the schedule that was made, the first schedule that I made the first 2 years obviously wasn't as hard as this one. Because I was trying to get the culture change, kids to buy in and start learning how to play football again. So when we put this schedule together, it was with the notion that we want to play some well-known teams, some harder-nosed teams to really challenge us and get ready for the playoffs. And it's just been a situation where it's always okay. Well, we see Franklin Parish on some TikToks, or we hear that they may be good and have a player here and there, but we really still don't believe who they are. And it was just about, man, at some point in time, this state is gonna have to feel who we are, and that's just kind of the passion and emotion that came out that particular night.
As I mentioned earlier, you guys won your first ever district championship. Talk about that for a second.
Well, the ironic part about it is, man, people don't look at district championships the way they used to. You
Right.
don't get that point like you used to, and now you have some people who won it so much that it's no big deal. But I felt like it was important as far as changing the culture to make sure that we highlight different milestones, and anything that I can bring to our community and programs attention as a milestone, then that's what I'm gonna do. And that was the first one, being a district champion for the first time ever. Now the kids really have something to grasp, a hold on, and now the next one is win a playoff game, and then after that is try to make a run and hopefully make that trip down to New Orleans.
Most definitely. Before passing on to my co-host George Peppers, my last question to you. You guys have Tioga this Friday night. What is it about Tioga that stands out on film to you?
But more than anything, man, Tioga beat us last year, man, and Tioga probably was that game was probably the difference in us possibly getting the first round bye or just moving up in the playoffs. And they always athletic, they always well coached. So it's still another challenge, man. Everybody, even though we've won district, we still have to play another district game, and sometimes the challenge is to keep those kids even keeled and still hungry. And I think down there on senior night, man, they're gonna give us a big contest, but I think my guy's going to be ready for it.
George Peppers.
Coach Burnett, first off, we also want to thank you for taking the time for joining us and offer up a big congratulations on winning Franklin Parish's first district championship. Big congratulations to you and your staff on a great accomplishment.
I appreciate
My
that, man.
first question, though, for absolutely, and y'all are the Patriots, right? See,
Yes,
I'm a
sir.
John Aaron grad, and those Patriots haven't won this year, but your Patriots have. So there you go. Carry carry the mantle for us, all right?
No
But
problem.
anyway,
No problem.
you got that. All right. First question. For all it's your defense has pitched four shutouts this year. Okay. But I want to focus on the offensive side of the ball. 9 games, your lowest point output was 29 points. I haven't calculated averages, but you got your offense has really been on point this year. Talk about what makes your offense tick, and talk about some players that are very impactful on that side of the ball. For those of us in New England that haven't covered y'all.
Okay, I think the biggest difference and the ironic part about it, myself and my assistant head coach, Coach Cedric Sherrod, who's the offensive line coach, watching film today of us playing against Tioga last year, and some things really stood out. Man, we had two kids transfer in from Mangum. Now they're originally from Franklin Parish, born and raised in Franklin Parish. Unfortunately, in the past, Franklin Parish has lost kids to other teams. But we slowly been kind of getting some hometown kids back. So Hunter Caldwell and Andrew Calloway came in. They shored up the guard position. And so our run game has really been able to take off. We're getting a lot more push, getting a lot more yards. We got a freshman named DJ Neal who's rushed for a little over 800 yards. But I know at least 3 or 4 games he didn't even play the second half. And so that run attack has really been able to stabilize everything and give our quarterback Desiree Ellis, who I feel is one of the top in the state, opportunities to throw the ball, opportunities to run, and I think everything has started and stopped with that offensive line.
Looking at your scheduling, Jared mentioned Calvary. I want to go to the game against Ouachita. You only lost of the year. The fact that you guys played them 51-47, and that's a Ouachita team that arguably should have knocked off Ruston. They had a missed field goal, I think, or missed extra point from having a
Yes,
chance to get that game in overtime. What did you take away from that game? That's a 5A school, bigger
yes,
school, bigger guys and whatnot.
yes,
What was
yes.
your takeaway from that game? I know it's your only loss, and I hate to harp on it, but the fact that you guys played a 5A school that close, what would you take away from that game?
Well, it opened our eyes up and showed that we could play with just about anybody in the state. What you don't see in the box scores of that, we gave up 4 touchdowns on special teams.
Oh
So
wow.
the offense and defense played well that particular night. Quarterback played lights out. Coach Greg Boxley, who's a new defensive coordinator, came from Wiseman last year, had the defense playing and still has the defense playing at a high clip. But it just showed, man, if we can put our 22 against a lot of people, if we can stay within our comfort zone and not make many mistakes, man, we have a team that's very special this year.
George,
It
let me
feels
jump.
like it.
George,
Go
let me
ahead.
jump in right 1 second.
Got you, bro.
On Instagram, Coach Linares Elfe says, "What's up, AV?"
L Boogie, what's up, baby? That's my
Yeah,
boy right there, man. I was he
good
played at
people.
Tulane with me, man. One of the best athletes to
Hmm.
ever come through there. I like to take pride and say I was the one that got him to sign at Tulane because I was his host that weekend. So that's
There
my
you
boy
go.
right there.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
we're gonna have to remind him of that though, huh,
Yeah,
Coach?
there
I
you go.
guess
Oh yeah. Next
that's
time we
it.
see him again, that's right. Go
Yeah,
There you
ahead,
next
go.
time
George.
we see him, and we'll see. But you guys, it's natural for kids to, I don't want to say let down, but it's like feel good about winning a district title. You get a game against Tioga. You mentioned you lost to them this last year at this juncture. What is the message this week to your kids? Hey, look, a district title's great. What have you told them this week? What have you really harped on with them this week in advance of the game against Tioga?
Uh, Really, what I've been telling them is this is the first week of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So, we got district out the way and we're just going to treat this like this the first week of the playoffs. You don't get any do-overs. You don't get any second chances, so you got to give everything that you have every single week from here on out. We got an opportunity to right some wrongs. We got an opportunity to start the season over, per se. So everything that I've been saying is this is week 1 of the playoffs and you got to treat it as such.
I think the first game you guys played this year, because I didn't really, honestly, to admittedly, I didn't know much about you guys, but what you did to West Jefferson opening week, I was like, wow, I know that's a down program, and whatnot, but the fact that you guys came in there and put a bagel on them, that really opened my eyes, and I started paying attention to your team. There's a game on this schedule what was the game on this schedule you figured, wait a minute, we just might have something real special this year? Is there a game or a turning point in that schedule that you're like, man, these kids can beat anybody?
Well, if you look at the meat of our schedule right in the middle, week 3, 5, and 6. Yes, you had
Hmm.
Calvary Baptist, then you went to Washita, back to back with West Washita, who just came from a 5A program, who was in contentions and really picked to win the district preseason. Man, that was kind of a rough month for us, and we came in there and we competed every single time. And the biggest difference in the program with the kids is, regardless of score, even when we was down in the Washita game, there was literally not one point in time where we didn't think we could come back, we didn't think we could win, and just the resiliency of these kids. So I would have to say, man, beating Calvary, going toe to toe with Washita, and then coming back and beating West Washita in a 4-game clip. I think that was really when everybody's eyes open and say, man, these boys might be all right.
And the fact that you held a Calvary offense that could score 40 at the drop of a hat to 28, I know it sounds not minuscule. That says a lot about what kind of a defense you guys have. Obviously, that's the strength of your team. You brought everybody back, 11 starters. Um, as we head into the game against Tioga this week, well, I'm trying to phrase this the right way. How do you feel about your team going into Tioga and then going to the playoffs? You feel like that there's spots you could still get better, or I don't think you guys have peaked yet. To me, the way you guys have played, but is there any areas that it's like, hey, look, let's get this fixed up before the playoffs?
Well, I think you need to find every phase. Special teams is always, to me, is the X factor of any team. You look back on Cecilia last year when they made it to the Dome, man. They had arguably the best special teams in Division Two easily. And I think when you look at it, man, everybody focuses on offense, defense, where the players at. But to be productive, to be able to steal a possession, to be able to take one to the house, to be able to block a kick, that added possession on special teams, I think that's the X factor, and that's really what we've been working on the last couple of weeks.
How would you describe your coaching style? Are you one of these coaches that likes to be aggressive, or are you one of those that plays it by ear?
Man, hey, it's whatever the moment calls for, man. I'm
Gotcha.
I try to be a player's coach in the fact of, even like with my quarterback, what you like, what you want to do, and I think a lot of me, even though I'm an offensive guy, I try to put the best players on defense. I try to ride the back of the defense. Sometimes I can kind of get a little too loose with that ball, man, because I like to see it fly through the air. So I've gotten a lot better as far as putting it on the ground. But as a coach, man, I just try to have a feel for what's going on at that particular time. Now, as far as how I coach, man, I coach hard. I coach real hard. It's personal when I coach. But at the end of the day, man, I love my kids. I love the program, and I'm really blessed where I'm at right now.
What has the excitement level been at Franklin Parish after winning district and now realizing, hey, look, this might not be the only title we win. We really have a shot here. What has the excitement level been around campus and from the alumni? How much messages have you gotten from those guys?
I mean, everything's through the roof right now, man. And the more eyes you get, man, the more pressure that's on you. And I try to do my best to keep a level head, but man, it's a lot of excitement in Winsboro and in Franklin Parish. And guess what? At the end of the day, man, they deserve it. Franklin Parish has always been a sleeping giant as far as having athletes and having talent. Unfortunately, it just hadn't gone their way in the past couple of years. So to be able to be a part of a person that helped change the culture, helped change the team, win some games, man, I'm very appreciative, and I'm very blessed to be where I'm at right now.
Looking at the landscape of Division Two, to me, it just looks like a complete crapshoot. Throw dice and throw a dart and find something. What separates your team from a team like a Lutcher, an Opelousas, who's going to be dangerous in the playoffs, a Franklinton, or a Jennings? What separates your team from them? What do you feel like separates you guys?
Um, the funny thing about it is when they first put the divisions together, and I'm on the exact same page with you. When you look at Division Two, the first thing that stood out is you don't have any perennial powerhouses. You don't have a Neville that has won it every year, or Edna Carr
Right.
that going to be in the state championship. So it showed me that everybody had an opportunity. And I think the one thing that keeps my kids going is, they're not fearful of being in that situation, because there's no team that really jumps out for them to be fearful of. But they also have some great teams, man. Jimmy Zachary is one of my great friends. And I talked to him last night, as a matter of fact, and I beg and plead for him. If he can figure out a way to get Opelousas on the other side, I would greatly appreciate that. And uh, but when you look at Opelousas, when you look at Iowa, when you look at, Franklinton or Lutcher, obviously those guys are the ones that leading the charge. But the great thing about the Division Two is, man, literally every year everyone has an opportunity. It depends
Case
on
in
who
point.
takes off. Yeah, who takes off at what time, and if you
Hmm.
can be healthy at the end of the season and be in a good rhythm, That's why I'm kind of leery of being 4 or 5. I don't know if we want the week off or not. I've kind of been going back and forth, but whatever we get, man, we're gonna play our tails off, and hopefully it works itself out in the end.
To your point, Opelousas was a 12 seed last year when they went on their run, and Coach Zachary getting the title, winning it against the 9 seed. So 12v9 was in the finals last year. So I mean, I don't want to say that happens again because that would put you guys out at the 5. Um,
Well, hey, the
I don't
funny
want to do
thing
that.
about
I don't want to do that to you because I look. I think you guys, looking at the landscape of Division Two, I feel like you guys have a real opportunity considering what's at the front. I mean, those are really good football teams there, but you guys have really put up some eye poppers of results this year.
yeah,
And I think you got more. I think you got more to offer. I think that you might be this year's Opelousas. You might be
hey,
this.
I certainly hope so. The funny thing, the reason I'm laughing is right now we're 5, and Opelousas is 12. So that's
Right.
kind of what I was talking to Jim and Zach about. He's talking about, man, I got to stay at 12, 12, my sweet spot. And
Well, he's playing you in round 2, then, right?
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Hey, and the
Yeah.
funny thing about it is, this is God honest truth. Last year, man, I was in the Superdome with my black and orange on, cheering for Opelousas.
Hmm.
So I told him, man, he gonna have to move around if we do get on the same side. Find a way to get a forfeit without nobody knowing, and just let me have it this time.
We called the game last year, Jared and myself, the Opelousas game in the dome last year. So
Okay,
that would be wild if you guys got there. It would be awesome. Last question: what
okay.
would it mean to you personally uh, to win this state championship for a school like Franklin Parish that hasn't been known as a perennial power of any sort, but to actually be that guy to get the biggest prize? What would it mean to you, both professionally and personally?
Man, it would be the biggest moment ever, besides, some personal stuff with family. That would be the biggest moment ever. I was part of 2 state championships at, well, coaching at Bastrop. But not only was this Franklin Parish first district championship, it was mine as a head coach. And to have an opportunity to not only win one, but win one where no one else has been able to do it, man, means more to me than anything. Instead of moving into a house, man, I would like to build my own house if I can
There
say it
you
like
go.
that. And
I like
so,
that.
with that being said, man, if I had that opportunity to get to the carpet, if I had the opportunity to win it, man, I promise you it'll be everything for me.
Most definitely. Coach Burnett, I need one favor. I need one favor now.
Talk to me.
I need you and Coach Elface to set up a game. I don't care if it's at your place, his place, or home and home. Y'all set that up. We're gonna come and video stream that game for y'all. We're
Hey
gonna do
now,
it.
look. Hey now, Bastard played Carver when he was there. That's we 1-1 right now. He beat me one time at Carver, and I beat him when he came to Bastard. My last year at Bastard. So me and
Okay.
El Page them battled, man. I love that dude to death. Hey, you do me a favor, man. You tell Terrell Harris, man. I said what's up, man.
You got that, Coach. You got that. I'm gonna text him that after the show, definitely.
There
But
you
Coach,
go, there you go. But I
yeah,
get with El, man. I see if we can get something together.
there we go. There we go. Coach Burnett, man. Good luck to you Friday night. Good luck to you throughout the rest of the season and the postseason. Thank you for joining us.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me on here, man. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to my community and my program. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, man. Thanks a lot.
Definitely, Coach.
Our pleasure,
Appreciate it.
Coach. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Coach Burnett of Franklin Parish High School, the Franklin Parish Patriots, and I'm gonna go through their schedule right quick. 'Cause I got it up. They came down and played West Jefferson, 51-0. Like George said, I was eye popping because I was like, "Who?"
Who are they?
I was like, "Who?" And like Franklin Parish, and somebody was like, "They made the playoffs last year." So I go back and I look and say, "Okay, first round they was a 7-3 team." I said, "Okay, pretty good, pretty good." Went back, did some research. I said, "Okay, that's a good team." And VK was like,
I don't think you said it like that, though.
That's how it came in my ears because he was talking nothing but
Oh,
nonsense, nothing but nonsense. I'm like, VK, that's a good team, bro. No, they not. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, let's go down the list. St. Frederick, 72
good
team,
team.
a good team, beat them. Calvary Baptist, an elite team, beat them.
Champions.
Caldwell Parish, 0-9. Okay, beat them. Washington Parish, 5A, good team, lost by 4. West Washington, comes down from 5A into their district, beat them. Peabody, playoff team last year, beat them. Grant, beat them. Mossman, playoff team last year, beat them. Now they got Tioga. This is an 8-1 team that has beaten good teams. This is a legit team. And like he said, right now the power rankings, they're 5, Opelousas is 12. But he made a good point, George. He said that's really not like a powerhouse when you think about that. And he's really right. He's really right because you can say Lutcher, but everybody else right now, not really a powerhouse. Not really. Opelousas dethroned Lutcher as a state champion. And Opelousas went on to win the state championship. So he's kind of right when there's really not a powerhouse in the in Division II non-select.
You know, with this Franklin Parish team, I said this, I think, during the interview. They are a higher powered offensive version of Opelousas. Great defense, but I think a better offense than Opelousas last year when they won the title. That's what this Franklin Parish team looks like to me. And you're pulling up the power numbers, and I see Franklinson up there, Lutcher, and Jennings. Jennings is the one that I kind of want to pay attention to. Those guys. Every now and again, sprout up and make deep runs. That team feels like a team that can make a deep run. And wouldn't it be just a crazy oxymoron if Franklin Parish and Opelousas hook up in round 2? That'd be crazy. But you're talking about you ran through their schedule. Coach Burnett mentioned during the interview, Jared, they gave up 4 special teams touchdowns in that loss to Wichita.
Right.
That's 28 points on special teams. Tighten that up. Arguably, they win that game. And we could be talking about 9-0, right? And I see Austin Tyler with the comment, Tioga, look, that's always a good team. Evan Cook's a good coach there. They've had their bumps and bruises this year. And I think Franklin's in for a little bit of a tussle. But they're playing at a different level right now. They probably win that game. And I don't know if that game's going to be on our picks tomorrow night. But Franklin Parish is a team we all better pay attention to. They got my attention when they did that to West F. And look, West F stinks. Let's say that. West F wasn't as bad, truly. But this team came down here and put 51 points on them and didn't give up a point. That in and of itself tells me that. And then when they beat Calvary, and it sounds crazy that they held them to 28 and say that's a great defensive effort, but Calvary scores 40 plus on the regular. And these cats went out there and held them to 28, Jared. That's eye popping considering Abram Wardell, goodness, the running back, his name just escaped my head. Wow. Oh, James Simon. You got those pieces and, that offense, and they held them to that. This is a team I'm looking very closely at come playoff time. I know when the brackets come out, I'm going to be curious to see what kind of a bracket they draw. Right now, they got, who is it at 28? Is that Bossier? No.
Let me go back because they do have the brackets right now. If the playoffs started today, what the brackets would be. Let me go get that right quick. Show everybody. I wish I could make this bigger.
That's all right.
I think I can. I got it.
Full screen.
All right, cool. Yep, I got it. So let me stop this right quick. Let me get back. I can show you. There you have it, right there. And they would play Bossier.
Probably a win.
Yeah, I think it is a win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Opelousas is 12, right?
As of right now, Opelousas is 12.
And they got 21.
Yep, D. Ritter.
And that
would be a killer second round matchup that happens. And then look,
road trip.
Yeah. Anyway,
it'd be a great match.
Boy, wait up there in Winsboro.
Way up, yeah. That's.
Oh boy.
Somebody's paying for VK's gas that night. I'm kidding.
Jennings and Northwest. That would be a great matchup in itself. Also,
it would. Northwest was a 22 seed last year and went a long way.
Went to the semis.
Yep.
Yes. So So, like he said, man, there's no particular powerhouse, but if Lutcher goes back and wins, or Opelousas goes back and wins, then we gonna sit there and say, yeah, we got a powerhouse. Or if they both get to the dome, yeah, we got a powerhouse. But if Franklin Parish gets there, I'm in agreement. There's really not a powerhouse yet in Division Two non-select.
No,
We may get it sooner or later. We may get it sooner or later.
but it's arguable. I mean, Franklinton right now is the number one seed, and Nick Sottoformaggio has done a really good job there. They've popped off some good results, but I'm not going to say vulnerable. I don't want to say invulnerable. They might be. I mean, the teams that are right behind them that are lumped in, Lutcher, Jennings, Franklin Parish, those are teams that they better be on their P's and Q's or else they go home.
Yep,
This is not a decisive, like, de facto favorite. I think this is a team that's one of the favorites. But Division Two non select, it's absolutely wide open. Wide open.
it's open. It is open. I will agree to that. Rita Gonzalez, what's up, partner? What's going on? I see you. Quarterback for Riverdale as they get ready for Bonneville um
Thursday.
sometime this week. I don't know if they yeah, I don't know who what time or what day they're gonna play with this storm. I know a lot of games moving up, but Riverdale will be in the playoffs and they still fighting for a home game, trying to get that home first round game.
Mhm.
I wanna stay right here with these power rankings, with these brackets.
All right.
I wanna stay right there. I want to go to Division One non-select right now. You know, these are not the brackets,
Set in
ladies
stone.
and gentlemen. This is just Go Preps made these brackets just to get y'all talking. That's all it is. That's all it is. Like the preseason top 25 college polls. It's just to get y'all talking. And as you see, Neville, Airline, Ruston, Central. That's 1, 2, 4, and 3 in the order I said it. Um, but as you look, as a matter of fact, I don't even want to do the brackets. I want to show you the power rankings itself. I want to show you the power rankings so y'all can see who may have a chance to move in or move out. That's what I want to do. That's what I want y'all to see. Forget the brackets because we're gonna do a bracket show Sunday at 6 o'clock. Make sure y'all tune in 6 o'clock right here on the Hash It Out Show, the bracket show that we're going to do. All right, just tune in. That's all I'm asking. All right, George. As you can see right here, I'm about to put it up for you. Where'd you go, George?
I'm here.
All
I'm
right.
looking up the. I was
So
looking. I was looking for what you were looking for.
I got you. So as you see, I bet you did cheese. I'm gonna get to it in a little bit because I'm not gonna take too long on these brackets, but I just want y'all to see things that we're seeing. As you see, George, that's 1 through 28. Neville Airline Central, Ruston, Parkway, Manaville, Zachary, Southside, Dusttown, Destrehan, Terrebonne, Northwood, Shreve, Covington, West Washita, Barb, Hornville, West Monroe, St. Amant, Westgate, Dental Springs, Sam Houston, Walker, H.L. Bourgeois, Washita Parish, Chalmette, Salmon, Central Lafourche, and Live Oak. This makes up your top 28 as of today. But Thibodeau, East Ascension, has a shot to move in if anyone pretty much from Chalmette on down loses. So changes can happen, ladies and gentlemen. This not gonna stay the same. Somebody gonna move up, somebody gonna move down. Hornville plays a tough Lakeshore team, and Hornville looking to get another win to secure a first round home playoff game. What's your thoughts so far about Division One non-select, George?
Hornville West Monroe looks tantalizing, doesn't it, for a first round game, 16v17. Yeah, I see them hand rubbing. I know exactly what that means because I'm thinking the same thing. Um,
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what I'd rather want for Hornville.
all right. I think you mentioned this in the chat, but you can go ahead and reveal it. Um,
I would love for Westgate to jump to
oh,
17. I think that matchup with Hornville would be
fun.
stupendous. Yo, yeah.
Fun. And Hanville, let's see how they recover this week because that was a tough loss to Destrehan last week. And I saw Coach Fronta earlier in the comments, and I'm waiting. I was hoping he would write "I told you so" or something in the chat, but he didn't. He kept it cool. That's cool. But um, you know, look at that. But let's go to the top of that bracket. You look at Neville. I mean, they have just
Uh huh.
continued to win and consistently. Um, they are the favorites in Division One non-select. But you know what would be an interesting matchup if that happened in the dome? And I'm not a
Let me
chalk
see.
guy, but 1-2 would be a very, very contrasting matchup. Airline Neville.
Yeah,
That would be
do
a
you?
contrast matchup.
Yeah, but do you think Neville is getting past Thanksgiving? Not Neville, excuse me. Airline. We know about Airline's defense. That's the question mark. If Airline had a defense that just allowed probably 28 points a game, Airline can win every game. I don't think they beat every team, but they don't have a defense. That's the only issue for Airline.
The thing is, they would see Zachary in a potential quarterfinal seventh seed. And
Ooh,
Zachary took a tough loss to Central. I don't know how that happened because I
it
think
happened.
I mean it did. But what I'm saying is that we didn't know how the dynamics of how that game turned out. I mean, we know that Central beat them, but how it got to that result. Zachary isn't going into these playoffs in the same form as they were last year. Last year they really won. Point last year they had it on their mind, and they did a lot of damage. They got to the finals and lost to Ruston, but Ruston felt like a team of destiny last year. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
that was a team that it was meant for them to win it. Joshua Brantley's special. Um, I mean, I'm not going to give Neville a state title. I think they're one of the favorites, but there's a couple of these teams in there. I still think Ruston's got something to say about this come playoff time. I feel like they're gonna get the Jets turned on again, and I think they'll be just fine.
All right, let's go. We talked about Division Two already, but I just want to show you. Like I said, I want to see the teams that are fighting to get in. And look at this right here. I'm gonna stop at 33. So Bossier 8.7. Okay, they lose. It's a possibility of Eunice and Rain hopping up. Maybe Woodlawn Shreve if they get some more help with Rain and Eunice losing. We'll see. It's a tough task, but you know Bossier's not out the hunt yet. They're holding that last spot, holding it on by a thread, but we'll see. I would think everybody else in the nines are pretty much safe. Assumption Grant, even Lagrange. It's Lagrange homecoming, and they got Leesville coming to town. Oh man, good luck to Lagrange fans.
Again,
Your thoughts, George,
un-
on Division Two
we
non-select?
we touched on it earlier with Coach Burnett, and it's wide open. The team I'm going to pay attention to, besides Franklin Parish, you see that number 9 seed, North DeSoto. That is still a
Mm-hmm.
dangerous entity, boys. That is going to be a team to be reckoned with in these playoffs. Dennis Dunn is their coach, and that quarterback, I forgot his name, the young kid that Delafield,
Luke, Luke, Luke
Luke
Delafield
Delafield,
Jr.
started, and he's
Yeah.
a junior now. I think North DeSoto might be lying. That's one of those lying in the weeds kind of teams. Like, y'all don't forget about us, and they're going to remind somebody. I'll say this: if North DeSoto and Franklinton hook up in the quarterfinals, 1v9, Nick might be in trouble. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not a matchup I'm not sure he wants. North DeSoto plays such a wide open brand of football. Uh, and Franklinton, I mean, they've been gold this year. They've been really, really good. But North DeSoto and Franklin Parish are teams I'm paying attention to in Division Two non-select, Jared.
All right. Division Three non-select. Right quick, everybody. Look, from 26 on down to 30, I think. Yeah, 26 on down to 30. There's a chance that some of these teams could pop up if the other team lose. So we keep an eye on that. But um, your thoughts, my friend, on Division Three non-select.
Hmm. I look at the non-select. Erath is number one. I don't know anything about.
Iraq.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them. St. James, the year they've had, I think that's a team that has outperformed expectations. Remember, they felt like a team in transition, and the one go-to game that they could have had was Shaw, and they got worked. It was a close game for a half, tied at halftime, but Shaw arguably made a bunch of mistakes early. Look at this. Pine still could be a trouble. Could be trouble. Oak Grove, Sterlington, those are perennial powers. They are always in the mix. I do have a soft spot for Avoyles. I think they might, if they draw a playoff game that's favorable, they might win it. Corey Bannister has done really good work there, and um, again, this is another division, Jared, that you cannot settle on one team and think Yeah, I'm going to ride that team all the way to New Orleans. There's about a handful of these teams in this group that you can say, yep, if they get clicking, they might punch their ticket to the dome that second weekend of December.
I want to say Kaplan plays Erat this week. I want to say that's one of the under the lights games that Jordan and them have. Erat versus
No,
Kaplan.
they played them last week and they lost 17-14. They get St. Martinville this week.
Okay, okay, I'm mistaken. All right, Saint Division 4 non-select. There you have it. Pretty much, I would say it's gonna come down from 28 to number 30, maybe. But other than that, no one is still talking about the South Plaquemines Hurricanes. They're as quiet as can be. Like, are they not getting respect, or they just? I don't know. I mean, when you top four, you would think be a little noise. Oh man, this team here number 2, 3, but no one is talking about South Plaquemines, and I'm telling people, Coach Feet team, it's a team you might not want to see in Division 4 non-select.
They
Your thoughts about? Go ahead, GP.
they have tested themselves this year. And guess who they got Friday? I don't know if it's Friday or Thursday with Raphael. Um, they got Newman.
They got Newman.
That's power points. Win that game
If they win,
if they
they
win.
win. Yeah,
Right. And they're only 2/10 of a point behind Haynesville. But I'm going to say this about the Golden Tornado. The last time we saw them in person, they got whitewashed last year in a dome. They got demolished last year, and that was Oak Grove that did it to them. Oak Grove
yeah,
is no longer in that division, but Haynesville is 9-0, Jared, and they look like a team on a mission. They were like, that was embarrassing what happened to us. Even though Oak Grove was the better team, we still should have shown up better the second time we played them, and they didn't. They look like a team on a mission this year. But as we traverse, I think this feels like a top heavy bracket. North Iberville, they were the darlings for a little bit. They're still third. They could be a problem.
they're there. They're there. Yep.
And if West St. John has had more skins on the wall, I would give them a chance to make a run. But this feels
Yep.
like one of the favorites here. I feel like one of the top 4 or 5, maybe even Logansport at 6, can do something in these playoffs coming up.
Yeah, you can't forget about Logansport. I will also say don't forget about Mangum at number 12.
No,
Um, but yeah, Austin. I talked to Coach Feet. He says, yeah, he likes it like that. He said, don't talk about us. He said he likes it. Keep us quiet. All right, George. Here you go. Division 1 select, and Rummel was number 5, but due to University having to forfeit games, that gave Catholic Baton Rouge a win and took the loss away, and that dropped Rummel from 5 to 6. With that happening, we had University caused some shuffles to happen throughout all the power rankings. I want to let y'all know that, okay? But George, man, when you look for this 24 spot, it's a big time running. I'm gonna go from Woodlawn all the way down to probably Lafayette, Tioga trying to make it, and if Tioga beats um Franklin Parish this weekend, that may help them move up. So we got a lot of teams fighting for number 24. But right now, George, your thoughts about Division 1 select?
so Tioga beats Franklin Parish. They're in the playoffs. That's going to give them a very nice power
Okay.
point to win it. They're only 3/10 of a point out. I don't want to draw them up in a crazy scenario for John Aaron at 29. They're 6/10 of a point out of the 24. Even if they beat West Jeff, that's a Saturday morning game at 11 o'clock at Memphis. Who made that decision? I don't know. Um, that's wild. But Edna Carr, we have said it all year long, Jared. That is a team playing at a different level than any of these other teams. Are there matchups in here that we want to see? Potentially. Obviously, Rummel Carr is Thursday. Alexandria in the playoffs, a rematch situation. Remember, they were down big to Carr last year and they made a massive grandstand comeback and had the ball with a chance to tie or take the lead. They didn't get it done. Alexandria might have a fearless mindset coming into that matchup too. at Nakar, but you better pay attention to number 7. That's all I'm going to tell you. They emphatically knocked off Turlings. Some people are going to still say they're not that team. They're not that team. They were good enough to beat a previously undefeated Turlings Catholic, St. Thomas More. It's playoffs. The lights, they shine brightest when the lights are brightest. That is still a dangerous entity. St. August found themselves, haven't they, the last couple of weeks? I mean, it wasn't pretty Saturday when they beat Holy Cross. They did win. They found a way to win. And yeah, if Evangel makes the playoffs, they would see the 9 seed. That is St. Paul, I think. Was it Bird? Let me go back and look.
Crazy thing is, that's who Evangel's playing
Friday.
this weekend. They playing Bird.
Okay.
So for Evangel, it's win or probably go home. And like Austin says, does Evangel keep the streak alive? I think
Consecutive playoff appearances, I think.
I, yeah, what is it, 33, I think?
Something like
Something
that.
like that.
Some insane
It's a
number.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. Um, do I have them as a pick 'em, Austin? Let me see. I don't think I have them as a pick 'em. No, I don't think so. I don't have them as a pick 'em.
They play
So
Bird this week, right?
they play Bird. Let me go. Let me go see right quick. I'm gonna click on them. Where'd it go? There you go. All right. Bird. No, I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh
They
for
do not
2.
play Bird.
Oh for 2.
They play Parkway. They play Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
Uh nah. I just. Oh man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Evangel, to do this to y'all, but yeah, I think that streak ends. I think that streak ends. What I want to say, George, right quick before I move to Division Two Select, if Alexandria loses to Neville, that race for the number 2 spot between Alexandria, Acadiana, and Catholic
Yep.
will be something to keep our eyes on. If Alexandria does not defeat Neville, because I think one of those 3 will get that number 2 spot.
Agree, but regardless of that, they're it's more posturing now because they're going to play. They're going to be off next week anyway because I believe the top 8 seeds have the first round bye. 9 through 24 have to go round 1. So
That's correct.
regardless of what happens, now if you're trying to avoid certain matchups or whatnot, then yeah, I could see maybe a little posturing in that sense, but to me, it's irrelevant. Alexandria and Neville, I think that's a measuring stick game for Alexandria. They already know what they have against Ruston. Neville beat Ruston, so let's see if Alexandria ups their game against the Tigers. Tigers this week. Um, you know, but at the end of the day, Jared, it's going to be hard to dismiss Etna Car. It really is. I mean, it would take, I don't want to say Titanic, but it would take a Herculean effort for somebody to beat that team over 48 minutes in the playoffs.
All right. Division Two Select. Um, Peabody, McKinley both have 8 points, and that's a point 0.59 lead over Belair and Tara. As we talked about earlier, people were saying if University wins, they can still probably get in into 24, 23. I just don't see how that can happen. And like I said, if that happens with University, 1 win, getting in still, you about to have a bunch of people start talking, wanting rule changes and everything. And I'm gonna be one of them. I'm just gonna sit here and say, get rid of the split, go back to the 5 classes, your top 32 teams. But anyway, that's a story for Sunday if they happen to get in. But I mean, I'm looking at it. Of course, Shaw number 1, Haynes number 2, Vanderbilt, Edie White, Madison Prep leads for your top 6. But look at St. Charles and look at John F. Kennedy. St. Charles got a big game with Shaw on Thursday. I think even if Shaw was to lose to St. Charles, they will still hold the number 1 spot. I don't think they're going to drop that much. St. Charles win, they'll move up. I'm telling you, what Kennedy is, I think Kennedy got a shot to move up too, George, to number 7. And Struma and Loyola Prep got some tough ball games this weekend
Hmm.
that they're not even favored to win. They lose, and Kennedy. I don't know who Kennedy playing, but Kennedy's going to win.
Landry.
And Landry, okay. Oh, Landry gonna play tough, but I don't think they'll win.
Mm-mm.
Um, and Shaw B. St. Charles. Look for Kennedy to be right there at number 7
And that would
and get
still,
the first round bye.
and if they got to 7, that would mean they don't play Shaw until they get to New Orleans potentially. You
Right.
know, but now I think the team that benefits greatly from University's misgivings, Haynes. Because now you just got rid of one of the big favorites in that division. Haynes now sits at number 2. Granted, if they had to run into Kennedy in a quarterfinal setting, uh, I'm not sure they want that matchup. I mean, Haynes has been special. Haynes has been special this year, Jared. Let's call that what it is. They have been special. They've been really, really, really good. And I'm going back and looking at ULab, and you're sitting there talking about they got to make up 1.2. No, no,
I
no,
mean,
geez. I think you're wrong.
well, well, hold on. So there was a bylaw that did say if you forfeit 33% of your games,
Then you're done.
you had you done. Well, Kennedy had to forfeit 3 of their games. That's 30%, so they're not done.
Yeah, they're
But
not.
yeah, so they said they're not. So some people say that law is still in place. Some people say it's not. I don't know. I'm just going with if they win and if they happen to make it. I'm just going with that. This Cheese could be right. He could be right, and it would be the correct thing to happen. It would be. Now
Hmm.
ULab is supposed to
Up here.
appeal it tomorrow. So let's see what happens. But Cheese could be right. I'm not gonna say Cheese is wrong.
But who would
They're gonna play. They're gonna play. I'm just going with
I
it.
think we touched on this Saturday off air, and I kind of want to bring it here. Shaw. I mean, but you and I are both in agreement that they're the favorites to win D2 now with what happened at U High, and I feel like all things being equal, Shaw, if they play their best game and against other teams' best games, they're better. They are better.
Okay.
Okay. With that said,
Yeah, I know. I read it too, Cheese. I read what he said also. Yeah, on Louisiana Sports Line, they are ineligible.
okay, but then
I
we'll
don't
see
know if
about
they
the
play.
appeal though. Let's see how that plays out.
Yep.
But do we get Shaw v. Kennedy? If Kennedy can play clean, Jared, I'm not sure there's. I mean, except for Shaw, because I just think Shaw is more well-rounded. I think Kennedy makes a very compelling argument, and Linares LPH gets to the Superdome if they just 17 penalties Saturday. That is just not going to happen. And you win in the playoffs doing that. Can't do that. You're not playing bad teams. Um, Sean Kennedy would be a very tantalizing final for sure. And congratulations to Haynes and what they've done this year. They've been spectacular. Maybe good enough to win a playoff game. I look at that potential matchup. They would play uh,
Look, they would
15.
play Douglas or Booker T. Washington Shreveport if you're going by this.
Right.
If we're going by this.
If that's the matchup we go by, I mean, Douglas, VK said, what was it? We were joking around. We picked that the game against 35. He was the only one to pick Douglas. I'm like, they're better. They're better. They got whitewashed. But Douglas, Booker T, Haynes would win that game, I think. And then get to a quarterfinal setting. And let's say they play Kennedy. Do you like their chances? I mean, they've been great this year. But I don't know, Jared. I think Kennedy, if they clean up the penalties and just get the execution crisp, that's going to be a hard team to keep out of New Orleans. Wouldn't you agree?
I totally agree. I totally agree. I mean, I sat here and said I think Kennedy, I said St. Charles Catholic, Shaw, and University were my semifinal teams, and right now, University's out. Kennedy Kennedy has a great shot to get to the dome.
Yep.
They have a great shot.
Hmm.
Cut out them penalties for sure. But yeah, they got a good shot to get to the dome. Yeah, Shaw defense has been playing much better. Madison Prep is playing much better also. So don't count them out at all. Good quarterback and a good receiver that they have, so don't count them out. But I mean, I tell you what, I'm the top 3 right now. if you Lab and Kennedy did have to forfeit no games, um, Kennedy probably be number one, Shaw two, you Lab three,
I
because
agree.
Kennedy was top three before they had to forfeit the games.
I agree. I mean,
So, but
I don't argue that at all. But Madison Prep, they won against University last week.
yeah,
That
that's
shocked
big.
the two of us. You know, you and I were on ULab. VK was on Madison. No, VK picked ULab too, but he kept saying about Madison Prep, and I'm like, no. And they surprised us. But I don't know if they're good enough or tough or tight enough to get to a dome to make a dome run. I don't see it.
Yeah,
Kennedy, I mentioned they would play Haynes, but in a potential semifinal, Vanderbilt Catholic would be waiting for them. I think that I would make them the favorite in that game. That's why I think it'd be hard to keep it out of the dome.
well, you got a point. Could be, but let's move on to Division Three select. And this is going to be exciting. Also, bunch of good teams in this one. As you see, look at St. Louis Catholic, a one-loss team at 24
One win team.
with a .7 lead over 25. The chances of holding on right there, that is crazy. But I mean, a lot of good teams in this. Lafayette Renaissance Charter, De La Salle, Parkview Baptist, the Auburn Woods, Slaughter, Lafayette Christian, Pope John Paul, they meet, North Lake, Notre Dame. It's a lot of good teams as we go up the list. Episcopal, Bunkie, Calvary, Isidore, Newman, and Dunham. A lot of good teams in this, George. Go ahead. What you got to say about it?
You mentioned you mentioned about who is it? St. Louis. They play a 2-win Houghton team this week. They might hold on.
Hey, Mike.
They might. So we'll see. I mean, a win that probably puts them into the playoffs, but it probably gets them a first round exit next week too, because there's no way you
Yeah,
take that team seriously. With that being said, I have sung the praises of Dunham all year long, and as good as Bunky has been, and my goodness, it would mean a ton to see that team get to the dome for me personally. I've covered that team. Got a good, still have good relationships with the community up there, and I know it'd be a heck of a reunion if they got here. But that task is going to be exponentially tough with Calvary, teams like that. Dunham, they could see Episcopal. It's going to be tough. I mean, they will acquit themselves well in these playoffs, but Dunham Calvary in a final, Jared, that would be one I'd pay to see. Those two with that quarterback battle, I would absolutely front row seat that game.
tell you what, Dunham and Calvary in the dome would be
Special.
that'd be something else. And James Simon back, that'd be something else.
Yes,
Um, I'm not counting out Lafayette Christian yet either.
I am.
I'm not.
I am.
I know you are. I'm not.
Here's why I'm
I am
counting.
not.
Here's why I'm going to put them away.
I'm listening. Go
Too
ahead.
much
You know
turnover,
it's
dude.
cheese. Cheese is it too.
That's all right. Chiefs can say what he wants. It's all good. There's no disrespect.
Trey, what it do, baby? What's up, Trey? Go ahead.
What's up, Coach Trey? Um, I'm not putting any disrespect on that team at all, and it's not any venomous statement. The only thing I'm saying is that too much turnover in the coaching ranks. Getting rid of that coach, they're still 3-6. They haven't really moved the needle. I know they played a rugged schedule. I just don't.
Yeah,
I just do not think that in a big spot they're good enough. I feel like they could have done more, but maybe they realized the error of their ways with getting rid of that coach after 4 weeks. Maybe they did, but I don't feel like that the preponderance of that football team is good enough in a 48-minute setting against, i.e., Calvary Baptist, Dunham, maybe even Monkey, maybe even Bunky, Episcopal. Tough. I don't think, I think they can get you to a Thanksgiving week game, but that's pretty much the capper for me for LCA. And I saw a potential matchup. I don't know who just posted that. Lafayette Renaissance against De La Salle would be interesting. Would be.
look, I'm look. Lafayette Christian has played one of the toughest schedules in the state.
No
I
argument.
mean, Rummel played Rummel toe to toe. Then they beat Karen Crow. Then lost to Westgate. Then Shaw came into town and just held them to 8 points. Central of Baton Rouge. They lost by 9. Then they beat Lafayette Renaissance. Another good team. They lost to them. They beat Welsh. Went play Evangel. And that was a good ball game. They lost by 14, highest scoring game. I'm not doubting Lafayette Christian yet, man. I am not doubting Lafayette Christian. Yeah, we're used to them being a high seed. Yes, we are. But man, I'm telling you, George, I'm not. I am not doubting them yet. This Lafayette Christian team, man.
I needed them to
I,
win some of those tough games, Jared. That's why
I get it. I get it. I understand it. But come on, they battle tested.
they are.
They're battle tested.
But battle tested is one thing, but winning one or two of those games tells me, okay, they're good enough. All right, geez, I know he's shooting that at me. Wow. All right. Uh, okay, cheese. I mean, I'm not mad at you, dude. Look, I get it. I'm not hating on your school. I needed more. I needed to see more from them in those games. Winning one or two of those games would probably move the needle for me for them to make a deeper run
All right, look at this. Lafayette Christian plays Thomas Jefferson. I think we both can agree on Lafayette Christian, right?
against PJ. Sure,
All right, if that's to happen, come next week, y'all. Okay, that's not set in stone. All right, but if Lafayette Christian beats, if they beat them,
they go to Bunky.
they gotta go to Bunky. That's gonna be a tough matchup. I'm telling you, Bunky's a good team, but this won't be an easy matchup for Bunky.
No, but it's winnable for the Panthers. I mean,
I agree with that. I agree that it's winnable. Not saying that they will, but I think it's winnable. Yes.
wouldn't mind making that trip, but I'll
I know
just
you.
go on.
I know you would.
I mean, look,
Come on,
it's listen, it's personal in that regard because that's all fair stuff. But look, that would be a tantalizing second round matchup if it comes to bear. Who knows? Lafayette Christian may win and move their way up into a top 10 or 11. Maybe they slide up a point or something.
they could.
It could be.
They could.
So we could be talking apples and oranges, really, to be honest. Maybe they slide into 11 where they would have to play the six, and that's Catholic of New Iberia. I think no, that's hold on,
That's Jules Sumner.
Joe Sumner, and that
I sit there and tell you today that Jules Sumner's a good team,
yep,
but I don't think they beat Lafayette Christian.
not in that
I give
setting.
Bunky. I give Bunky more of a shot to beat Lafayette
I
Christian this year.
absolutely would.
All right. Enough talk about
Yeah,
Lafayette Christian. Let's go to the last one of the power rankings, and we'll shut this show down for the day. I guess VK decided to take a full suspension. Good. He was suspended for half of the show. So, all right, guys. Here y'all see it, Division 4. Um, St. Mary's is going to be fighting with Delhi, Glenbrook, and MLK Charter for these last couple spots. Those 4 teams fighting for the last couple spots, George, all with 10.73 to 10.61. So there's a spot for the last 3 spots, a fight for the last 3 spots right there. I would say Vermilion Catholic is your favorite to get to the dome this year, especially with that win over Riverside. But I'm not counting out Riverside yet. Covenant Christian, a lot of people not talking about them, but keep your eye out on Covenant Christian. That is a good team right there out of Homer. And if you go play Covenant Christian in the playoffs, you get to play at a college football stadium, Nichols State University. But hey, here is Southern Lab at number 8, George.
hmm
Don't overlook
at
the
all,
defending state champions.
at all. That was it.
Kent Woods at 14. Don't overlook them either.
I'm not sure Kentwood has state championship credentials this year. I'm more of a believer in Lab. They beat Kentwood heads up, so I'm more of a believer in Southern Lab this year. If you put them two in a setting, now you mentioned Delhi Charter at 24. Guess who they got this week? Mangum.
What they got?
Mangum.
Uh, wow.
So, and their best win this year was against the 3-6 Jonesboro Hodge.
Okay.
The other teams were 0-9, 1-8, 1-8. Miserable records. That's why they are where they are at 24. And this is why um, uh, uh, percentages mean something. This is why I love PowerPoints because it rewards teams that play tough schedules no matter the record. But Teams like Delhi who fatten up against bad teams, this is how you get punished. Schedule tougher, and we'll take you more seriously. But in Division Four, you talk about who can win it all. You say Vermilion Catholic is one of the favorites, exactly, Austin. But Notre Dame was the team I was just about to bring up. The Pios, well, they're not even here, but I'm sorry. I was going to say Riverside Academy is a team I still want to pay attention to. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
definitely.
they've seen Vermilion Catholic once. Get them on the carpet. Let's see what happens in the dome. And figure out Dedrick Lasty is Dedrick Lasty. He's special. We know this. But
Yep.
how hard is it for a team to beat another team twice in the same year? Opelousas defied that. They lost to Cecilia last year, and they beat Cecilia in the Superdome. So
Hmm.
that's basically to my point. Covenant Christian has been terrific this year. Have not seen them, but I've heard so much about them, and people have sung their praises. They look really good. Um, they could be a very big problem in these playoffs coming up. Um, but you just said it. Southern Lab, I think, will be a very, very tough out. And for me, in Catholic Southern Lab potential quarterfinal, Jared. Woo-hoo, man, holy cow! That would be a track meet in that game.
Yeah.
That would be an absolute track meet. Scoreboard operator, whoever you are that night, buddy, better get some. You better get them fingers fixed because you're gonna be pushing a lot of buttons that night.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Hmm.
Oh man, the brackets cannot get here soon enough, and with games being moved to Thursday, Go Prep's gonna be updating their
They will.
brackets left and right early,
Hmm.
getting us an early look of um
So,
of of matchups
so you want? Do you want to
that
thank?
can happen.
Do you want to thank Raphael ahead of time for giving us another day to look at matchups and potentially plan? What we're talking about coming to the playoffs.
Man, I ain't thinking Raphael for nothing, man.
I'm
I don't
kidding when I
deal with
say that.
no hurricane. I know you're kidding.
I know. I'm just saying it's giving us an extra. But the Northern Louisiana teams, none of those teams have moved. It's all your Southern Louisiana teams that have moved their games because obviously the impacts will be greater down here. And look, whatever it may be, rainmaker, windmaker, whatever it may
Flood
be,
maker,
what noise,
power
yeah,
power outage maker.
nuisance,
Yeah.
PITA, which I won't repeat because we're a family show. Um, look, whatever happens, happens. We're gonna sludge through it. But a little historical footnote on that. Do you know this will be the latest a hurricane has hit Louisiana? The last one was October 29th. I forgot what year. We've never had a November.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me about Zeta, man. Don't remind me about October 29th when Zeta hit.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah, that was
We
crazy that year.
I was so scared.
Hmm. I
Oh
know.
man.
I know it was me, and at the time I wasn't living here at the time, and my family lived here.
20, you want to hear 2020?
No, 21 I moved.
Okay.
21 July.
Gotcha.
And that was when Ida hit. Of course, her Cat 4, possible 5, could have been a 5, but whatever. Look, whatever it is, we've done this. We've been through this song and dance so many times that it almost feels like old hat to us, doesn't it? You know, but we'll just trudge along, do what we do, and looking forward to tomorrow night, our final week of the regular season picks. And we do have a great guest tomorrow night, Jared. If you want me to announce, I can do it. We will have
Go
Neville's
ahead.
head coach, Mike Collins, on with us tomorrow night. 7:30, we start. And I know a lot of
7:30.
exactly. And Thursday night, we have St. Augustine, John Curtis from Tad Gormley. Hash it out show game of the week, concluding season two's regular season as we get ready for the playoffs. And we will be with you all the way to the state semifinals because, of course, we defer to the ticket. And they have all eight championship games either through the radio or through CrescentCitySports.com. They will do all eight games, which we will be a part of some at some point, like you and I were last year, which Cecilia and Opelousas and I did a lot of in-game stuff and looking forward to that being in the dome and all that. But that's December. Still got this
Right.
week. It's gonna be fun stuff. Look, already week 10, Jared. Already, just it feels like just yesterday. We're like, where we going week 8? Where we going week 7? And now here we are,
Week
last week of the season, dude.
week week one watching in the car in Shaw still feels like yesterday. It
Doesn't
still
it?
feels like yesterday,
Yes.
man. But the Hash It Out Show game of the week: St. Augustine versus John Curtis. You catch it on JB the Sports Guy YouTube page, and it is a very important
Hmm.
game. As Austin mentioned, they are playing for. Hey, why are you calling me doing a show?
Who?
Why? What if? Who you think, Mister Suspended?
Disconnect. No.
My God,
Here's what the
he
importance.
is calling.
Here's the importance.
So the importance of it is this. Let me get to it right quick. I'll let you go. The importance of it is this. John Curtis is number 16 in the power rankings. If St. Augustine beats them, you know John Curtis
Got a
will
problem.
not host a first round playoff game. St. Augustine might be able to lose to John Curtis and still host a first round playoff game, but St. Augustine is hoping to move up in the rankings. That's the importance of this game.
Exactly.
Curtis trying to win and host a first round playoff game. St. Augustine trying to host a first round playoff game and have the opportunity to maybe have a bye. They are number 10. Curtis is number 16. That's the difference, right, George?
Yes. That was good with the piggybacking, but if what would we kill it to be with VK Thursday? Remember what John Curtis used to do? Their fans used to bring to the stadiums the milk cartons with the coins. Bring that to the press box and shake it in front of VK because you know he's a St. Augustine grad. But that's just joking. Look, it promises to be a very compelling football game. The Purple Knights have they found their momentum from earlier in the year? John Curtis, they're going to rely on his defensive, but they have to lick the wounds of a beatdown at the hands of Edna Carr last week, 35-14. They are offensively challenged. Defensively, they will be in every game. Oh, I know, Austin. Ain't that the truth? Man, he's probably cursing. He's probably dogging you right now, man. You should have answered my call or whatever. But look, that's gonna be a good football game Thursday night. Oh, they do?
Yes.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. Manuel still does it. Yes.
Tell you what, I used
Yes.
to hate that. I used to hate that. It's like, man, why? I would want to take milk jugs and take all their coins and get a coin basket. Just saying, you want to get rich? There you go.
I didn't hate it.
I do.
I never hated it. What I hate is when they
Cheated.
toss the powder up. Toss the powder. The powder get all over you.
Oh, they were doing
Like, why y'all
yeah,
do that? What
LeBron
if
stuff.
somebody out here is allergic to powder?
They were LeBroning. That's what they were doing. You know, LeBron does that before home games. You know, slap the
Yeah.
powder up. That's what Evangel would.
Yeah.
That's what Evangel does. But great show tonight, Jared. I know we're going to shut it down.
Yes, sir. We're gonna shut it down. Make sure y'all tune into the Hash It Out Show game of the week Thursday. All right, 6:30 pregame, game time 7:00. Other than that, come this weekend, everybody stay safe from the storm. But other than that, we're back tomorrow with Neville's head coach Mike Collins. VK will be back with us tomorrow. That's George Peppers. I'm JB, the sports guy. We'll see you all tomorrow. Y'all take care.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985-266-0664 and don't forget to ask about their 1 week free special. Thank you for watching the Hash It Out Show.